hope so. Yeah, he did have a lot of base runners, but he made the pitches when he had to make them. He got the strikeouts when he had to strike out and strike them out, and the guys played good defense behind him. And that's what happens when you're throwing strikes. You know, guys are alert and aware and ready to catch the ball. And you know, he threw a very good game. Our offense, you know, came to life, especially when we had a couple crooked number innings. And you know, we played a overall good game today, ran the bases well, and I was proud of him, especially after the short night, you know, last night, and then the early game today, and the fact that we hadn't been very good on day games, so that was a big plus for us.
Dusty, as a manager, what does it do for you when you can sit three of your regulars and you have three other guys from your opening day lineup hurt, and your team can still put up 11 runs in that type of situation?
Well, that just shows you, you know, that they work when they're not playing. And it shows you what kind of job Rick Shue and Jock Jones are doing to prepare them, you know, for who's pitching and what they'll most likely do to them. And the fact that, you know, they play from, you know, they don't sit too long. And so then that has, you know, the team fresh tomorrow. Like, again, I played yesterday the young guys that were, you know, don't need as much sleep as us old guys. And then today, you know, we played, you know, fresh bodies again, like Murph. I mean, he responded big time. Anthony usually always responds probably the best when on the day off. And so, you know, the guys came. I give them a couple of days' notice that they're going to be playing and when and whom, and they can study video and do whatever they have to do to get prepared and ready to play.
Back to Ross. You mentioned this morning he still has to learn. He's still learning
Right.
as a pitcher. Have we even seen that within this season, who he is now versus who he was?
Yeah, I mean, big time. I mean, how many people pick up a pitch in the middle of the season, you know, and have the confidence enough to, you know, to throw it? Most of the time, that confidence comes over the winter and then the spring training. And the fact that, you know, this is the most pitches I think he's thrown since I've been here. And that's career high. And, you know, we still got to watch him, but that shows you, I told you he changed his training regimen. And usually when you get tired, you start getting the ball up. And, you know, he threw some quality changes. We were hoping he'd get through the seventh. That was his last hitter in Duda. And so he just has to work on his hitting some more. I think did he have the golden sombrero today or the hat trick? Yeah. Ooh. Yes.
The Mets put out in their press release that Lugo had the highest spin rate last year of any curveball, so his best pitch. And of the guys that you might call subs for you, they had 6 hits off him, none on curveballs. Did they have a game plan to try and hit his other pitches?
I can't tell you that because he might be reading it too. But, I mean, the curveball, you know, it's tough to hit. And the curveball has sent many a player home. But secret to hitting, like my roommate used to say, Ralph Garr, secret to hitting the curveball is don't miss the fastball.
Murph is hitting over 400 now against his former team. I know he'll say it's not any different than facing any other team. But what does it say about his approach that, you know, he doesn't get caught up in any of that?
Well, Murph's very steady in his demeanor and personality, and you know, that helps. I'm sure you get some satisfaction, which we all do when you're playing your former team. I still do when I'm coaching it, I'm managing against my former teams, and so you know, that's I'm glad that Murph responded today after a day off. You know, and you know, the good thing about Murph is that no matter who he's facing, like my old coach used to tell me, and it took me a while to learn this, that don't give away at bats. You know, regardless of the score, regardless of if you have 2 home runs, then guys tend to go for 3, or if they have 3 hits, they tend to go for a home run, and you end up giving away at bats. And over the course of a year or course of your career, you you give away quite a few at bats, and Murph doesn't give away at bats. Yes.
Turner's gone down. What do you see out of Defoe, Drew, and even Adrian Sanchez as possible backups? And is that maybe more than most managers would have?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Drew was one of our priorities. When the season started, Defoe's been chomping at the bit. To play more. He was playing a lot but wasn't producing like he is now. But now I have three of them. I can, all three can play all three infield positions interchangeable. Like tonight, I put Sanchez at second. I wanted to see him at second because I know he can play short. And Defoe's played second, short, and third for us. And the fact that they can. The hard part is, for a young player, you don't see many players that can turn double plays from both sides of the bag. I mean, most of the time it's a lot easier from shortstop because you can see the runner coming at you. But at second base, I see Defoe out there practicing all the time. When he was at second base, I think yesterday, he was practicing all the time on turning double plays. And so that's the toughest part that you have to feel comfortable with and to learn. Yes.
Yeah, and you've also go ahead.
Following up on Defoe, he's really done well the past few games. How is he settling in since he's been listening to the lineup?
Well, yeah, he was in the lineup a lot earlier. Don't forget. I think Defoe might have close to 100 at bats, and so we just urged him to stay out the air. Because he was hitting a lot of fly balls to left and a lot of fly balls, and none of them went out of the ballpark. So the best thing if you're up in the air, stay out of the air. You know what I mean? So he's made some adjustments in his swing, in his approach, and so we're working with him, and it's easier to convey these things when a person has some success doing what you're trying to convey to them. Yes?
Going back to the shortstop thing, you've also got a left-handed hitter, right-hand hitter, switch hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So does that allow you to keep them rested, or do you want to keep them rested, or would you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to keep them rested, and you got to keep the other guy sharp too. Like Anthony was off today, Drew played third, and I think Defoe's played 2 days. I think Drew will play short tomorrow, and then I got to keep him healthy, and so he'll probably not play the next day against the Braves. I got a plan. May not make much sense to a lot of people, but I got a plan.
As part of that plan, you had a guy with a walk-off hit last night. He played today.
No. Yeah, he played today, but that wasn't the reason. No.
I'm looking for maybe.
No, he played today, because I think, Goody had played 3 or 4 days in a row. And also I played Goody last night against a left-hander because Matz is actually better against right-handers than he is left-handers. And the guy today has a higher batting average. I think it's pretty close. I think it was 267 versus 280. So, and it was an early game. Goody had played last night. And then Goody will be back in there tomorrow because, DeGrom's tough and he's tougher on everybody. So.
It sort of answers the next one, which was that Taylor played last night, but he played again today. I thought it might be his military family 4th of July, but it just worked out that way.
Well, you can write that. I didn't think that.